Hello everyone and welcome to my poster, Non-Vestoid Candidates in the Inner Main Belt. In this study we are trying to identify V-type basaltic asteroids that cannot be linked to Vesta. The motivation behind the study are the anomalous HEDs. Most of the HED meteorites show oxygen isotope data that suggest that they must have originated in a single parent body. That parent body has been identified as asteroid 4 Vesta. However, some of the HED meteorites show distinct isotope data indicating that they must have originated from different parent bodies. Some of those meteorites are shown here. The parent bodies of those meteorites have not yet been identified in the asteroid belt. Therefore, the main goal of this study is to identify parent asteroids of those mismatching anomalous HEDs. And in particular, the Van Bura Rockhole meteorite, also showing distinct isotope data. The fall of this meteorite has been observed and its trajectory has been computed, and the origin of the meteorite has been traced back to the inner asteroid main belt. The parent body of this meteorite might still reside in the inner main asteroid belt. Therefore, we decided to focus our search for the parent bodies on the inner main belt. This, however, might be a difficult task, mostly because most of the V-type asteroids in the inner main belt, shown here in the orbital element space, are either parts of the dynamical Vesta family, shown here in light blue, or are considered to be Vesta fugitives, that is, asteroids that have dynamically evolved beyond the borders of the Vesta family. So some of the dark blue dots, that is V-types outside the dynamical family, shown in this plot, might be Vesta fugitives. And distinguishing between Vesta fugitives and non-Vestoids is non-trivial. Fortunately, Nesforn et al. Simulated the escape paths from the Vesta family and showed that Vestoids that evolved to cell 1, indicated here, must have retrograde rotations and thermal parameters that maximize the Yarkovsky drift in order to evolve to this location in the time of the order of the Vesta family age. Therefore, prograde rotators in this cell might be unlinked to Vesta. So the key property here is the sense of rotation, and the sense of rotation drives the direction of the Yarkovsky drift. So the retrograde rotators migrate inwards, and the prograde rotators migrate outwards. Therefore, sense of rotation is key to determining whether an object could have evolved from the Vesta family. Nesforn et al. Also tried to reproduce the low inclination V-type population. However, they were not able to reproduce that observed population with sufficient efficiency. So our goal here is to determine sense of rotation for asteroids outside the dynamical Vesta family in the hopes of finding asteroids whose sense of rotation can set them apart from typical Vestoids and Vesta fugitives. So to do that, we have started an observational campaign. So we are performing photometric observations at the 1.8 meter Perkins telescope and 1.1 meter Hall telescope, and spectroscopic observations at the 4.3 meter Discovery Channel telescope at the Lowell Observatory. And here are our first results. We have observed asteroids 4796 Levis at two different epochs, at opposition and after opposition to determine its synodic period at those two epochs. So here are the light curves shown at both of the epochs with the date of observations indicated here. And we have determined the synodic periods at opposition and after opposition, and then we have modeled the change in the synodic period to determine whether the asteroid is prograde or retrograde rotating. The prograde rotating asteroids show minimum in synodic period at opposition, and the retrograde rotating asteroids show maximum in the synodic period at opposition. Therefore, the prograde rotating asteroids follow the solid lines, and the retrograde rotating asteroids follow the dashed lines. In this case, the data are consistent with prograde rotation. Here's another example of an asteroid that we have observed at 3 different epochs: before the opposition, at opposition, and after opposition. As you can see, the light curves are very high quality, and for this method to work, the light curves have to be of very high accuracy, because the synodic periods have to be determined to the fraction of the second. This object is best explained by prograde rotation. And here we have another object that we have observed twice before the opposition and once at the opposition, and the change in synodic period is more consistent with the retrograde rotation. Altogether, we have determined sense of rotation and collected sense of rotation from the literature for 10 asteroids. So here we have them plotted in the orbital element space. The crosses denote the retrograde rotators, and the circles denote the prograde rotators. In light blue, similarly to the figure shown before, is the dynamical Vesta family. Dark blue are the V-types outside the Vesta family, and cell 1 and cell 2 are shown the same as in NESFAR et al. 2008. So we have found 5 asteroids whose senses of rotation are consistent with the migration from the Vesta family, and 2 asteroids, 809 and 5754, whose senses of rotations are inconsistent with the migration from the Vesta family, and therefore those bodies are the best candidates for non-vestoids in the inner main belt. They are located in cell 1, and they are prograde rotating, so they are unlikely. It's unlikely that they have migrated from the Vesta family. The bottom line here is there are V-types in the inner main belt that might not be linkable to Vesta, and thus might represent other differentiated planetesimals and parent bodies of those mismatching HEDs. The general idea now is to determine sense of rotation for all V-type asteroids outside the dynamical Vesta family larger than 5 kilometers in diameter. This is around 30 objects, and then see whether we can determine the ratio of prograde to retrograde rotation and estimate the amount of non-vestoid material present in the inner main belt. Because this study requires a lot of observing time, we are inviting collaborators to join our study. So if you are interested, please contact me at tatmara.oszkiewicz@gmail.com. Thank you. And if you have questions or comments, please post them down below. Thank you.